Hi everyone! As you may have seen from my fountain pen collection video, I did have several that I felt like wasn't working for me. Luckily, I was able to sell some of those away and I made about $50. Yay! I'm saving a big part of that and I spent about $10 on some ink that will come later and $5 on today's haul. So stick around to see everything I got for only $5. So I bought the items in this box from Shopee, but the shop also sells on Aliexpress as well. I'll leave all the info and links below. The prices you see on the listings probably won't be the same from when I bought these because I ordered them during a sale and they also had bundle offers and whatnot. Everything seems to be well packaged except for this A5 size notebook. It was a soft, dark pink on the listing, but in reality, it's more red than I expected, so I'm not too thrilled with that. It was cheap, so I'm not going to be bothered by it. It'll get used either way. Next, we have this bundle of 3 Lamy knockoff fountain pens. Out of all 3, I'd say this one here, called Morandy Pink, seems to feel the most durable. The color is a very muted pink, almost taupe if you will. If I physically saw this in a store, I probably wouldn't have bought it, but it still does seem to match with my other pink pens. Just not as vibrant as I would like. It is matte and has a slightly textured surface. Here I'm trying to show you that the nib is off-center. It should be twisted to the right a little more. This was quite an easy fix as the nib and feed are friction fit, so I could easily pull them out with the help of a cloth for grip. The nib itself is a 1.1mm stub nib. I'll talk more about the performance of this nib later in the video. This one came with a twist converter. Next is this one here, and they called this Macaron Pink. I absolutely love the color. It's a soft pastel pink. If I saw this in real life at a shop, I would still buy this one. The plastic has more of a slippery surface than the previous one, and as you can see, this one is an F nib. The converter is one of those push and pull converters, which makes cleaning much faster. Here is the last pen. The whole body and cap is clear with the exception of the feed being black. The plastic material of this one feels appropriate given the price. I chose a 1.9mm nib because, well, I don't have any stub nib pens and I honestly thought I was done with going down the fountain pen rabbit hole, but then I saw Jannah's video, this one here. I'll leave a link below should you want to check it out. And suddenly, I found myself down the rabbit hole again, which is what sparked me into ordering these products. And for reference, here are the 3 pens next to my other pink fountain pens. As you can see, the Morandy Pink is much more muted than all the others, but it does still sort of blend in with the others. And now, unwrapping the inks, I got a total of 4 bottles, each containing 5 milliliters of shimmery ink. They're called Slight Cold, Winter of Solstice Festival, Grain in Ear, and Equinox. I believe these are glass bottles with a tin cap. You can clearly see the moving shimmer particles within the bottle. Let's try swatching them out, shall we? So I'll be swatching all 4 inks on this Rhodia blank notepad and using this Macaron Pink F-nib pen to do some test writing. There's a very nice thick rubber plug at the top that makes sure no ink comes out. But do be careful when you remove the plug as some ink may pop out. I expected Slight Cold to be more of a turquoise color, but it's very much like a phthalo blue red shade. Winter of Solstice Festival was expected to be an ultramarine blue, but is much more like an indanthrone blue. Grain in Ear turned out much more beautiful than I expected. It looks to be a bright red on the listing, but it actually leans pink and looks a lot like a PV19 Quin Red, so that warmer version of PV19. Lastly, we have Equinox, and I'll admit, I got this color because of the name. The ink is like a sepia brown or dark raw umber, and all of the 4 colors contain the same gold shimmer particles. And this is what they look like once they've completely dried. If you use an F nib, the shimmer particles don't show up very well, so I do recommend using nibs that produce thicker lines. This page is basically the result of me testing the 3 pens. Number 1 is the Macaron Pink pen with the fine nib. It writes smooth with slight feedback. Better than Sailor feedbacks though, so I'm very satisfied with this pen. Oh, and the ink for this whole page is Diamine Lavender. And this is in my Kadi logbook, which takes ink surprisingly well. Number 2 is the Morandi Pink pen with the 1.1 stub nib. It writes okay, but could be smoother, so I might have to grind the nib a bit. I personally got this 1.1 stub because I've been looking at getting the Pilot Prera with the CM nib, cursive medium, which I've been told is similar to a 1.1 stub. I expected there to be more variation between the up and down strokes, but there isn't much variation at all. I sort of feel like I just got a broad nib pen. Personally, I'm not 100% happy with this pen, but it works and it's alright. And the last one is the transparent pen with the 1.9mm nib. In a nutshell, I would have sent this back or asked for a refund if I had paid more for this. I did only do a dip test for what you see here, but I tried again filling up the converter and testing it out for real. It just wasn't working properly. There's a small sweet spot where I have to hold the pen literally upright in order to get any ink out. And if I hold it at any other angle, I'd just be scratching the paper with my nib. I don't know if grinding would help, but it just doesn't work as is. And then this page is just more swatches of the ink on this Kadi logbook paper. Overall, I'm quite happy with the haul today. The only one that really disappointed me was the transparent pen with the 1.9 nib. If I happen to be able to grind and fix both the 1.1 and 1.9 nibs, I'll update you all in the description box below. Prior to this, I did want to add the Powder Rose Lamy Safari to my collection, but I just haven't been certain about its really soft color. This haul started with me looking to get a stub nib pen, but spiraled into much more, and along the way I ended up getting this Macaron Pink one, which I think is slightly more vibrant than the real Lamy, so I'm beyond happy with my purchase. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll be back with more watercolor content soon, but until then, thank you for watching. Don't forget to drink lots of water and stay hydrated.